Hello everybody, Icyymike back again, bringing you another episode today. We are going to be doing a Let's Play, starting our Let's Play series with the new game that came out last week called Stellaris. For those of you who do not know what this game is, it is a Space Grand Strategy 4X game created by the developers at Paradox. Very awesome game. They've been pushing out updates to make it even better, and I'm just having a blast playing it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see, I've already created an empire to save us a little bit of time, but I'll run through it just real quick. We picked a ocean world starting planet. We are called the Hammerhead race or species. Our empire name is Bikini Bottom, and we are a despotic empire, which means we kind of are pro-slavery. We're going to enslave aliens to kind of boost production. We don't really care about their happiness. Collectivists, again, plus 50% slavery tolerance and minus 5% food. And then we also have an intelligent trait that gives us a boost to our research, as well as a fanatic materialistic trait that gives us another boost to our research. Our primary method of travel will be through wormholes. Right now, I think this is just the best method in general until there's some rebalancing done with the game. We're going to go ahead and start with our energy weapons, and this is our ship, and here's what our species looks like. So I'm going to select that empire, go ahead and get started. Let's see, we should do a large universe, that's fine. 23 AI with 6 advanced start. We'll leave everything else default, no Iron Man mode or anything. Just a nice normal playthrough. So the start's a little slow. You really want to focus on your economy and your research and just getting things done as quickly as possible. So first we're going to select our research. So basically the way it works is you get 3 options and you pick one, and then after it's done you may not get the same 3 options again. You're going to, progress further. I really like both of these because power early on is very critical. Later it's not so much, but for early game having enough power to be always productive is important. So our 2 options that I'm considering here are the solar panel network or the power plant 2. I'm going to go ahead and go with the power plant 2 for now. I think that in the long run is a much better choice. Always go with the colony ship so we can go ahead and start expanding into other colonies, other planets. But just to look at our other options, you have genome mapping, which gives your leader plus 10 years and plus 10% food, and then you can unlock the biolab, which helps with research. We're going to get that later, so let's make sure we get that colony ship so we can start expanding as fast as possible. And then next up, we have our engineering research, so we can get a plus army damage of 5 and minerals plus 5. We can unlock the engineering facility, which is just like the biolab. It's a extra boost to research. Or we can start unlocking ship upgrades and do the armor. I'm pro ship upgrades. I like having a strong technological ship early on. Gives you an advantage for those battles that are really close, or you may even be behind. So I always try to focus on upgrading my ships. Okay, so here's our system. This is our starting system, and you start out in one planet. So this is our planet here, the Great Barrier, sticking with our theme. And then you also get a spaceport, and you get 70 ships, and a construction ship, and a science ship. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and open up your planet screen, and you just want to see, you want to make sure you're growing. And growth is directly related to the amount of food you produce. The more food you produce, the quicker you grow. If you don't have enough food, the slower you grow. So 4 is a good number, so we're not really craving food right now. And as you can see, these are different locations on our planet. So we have our population here. So if there's a person there, that means we have, citizens there that are ready to work. And if there's a building behind it, that's the building that they're working. And then tiles have specializations. So you can see here, this one is a food tile. So there's an extra incentive to build food there because you get a bonus of +1. So we have 2 tiles that we're not using, and we can also relocate our tiles. So I think that's something I'm going to do. Like I said, power's important early on. We have a power tile here that's not being used. Well, there's no reason to enslave them because this is our homeworld. They're very happy right now. Well, not very happy, but they're moderately happy, and their ethics divergence is -1. So they're very loyal people. They're not going to, create factions and revolt against us, so we don't really need to enslave them. Plus, enslaving hurts your production on intelligent required tiles such as power and research. So especially for a homeworld when we're going to be concentrating on power, we probably don't want to do too much to hinder that. So we got a +3 power and a +7 mineral. I want to go ahead and build one more power plant. This should get us going for a good while. And then this one we'll go ahead and do a mineral one, but I don't want to use that +2 food one, so we'll go here because we got plenty of... Now, when I do this to minerals, we're going to lose this power one. We're going to get the +1 minerals, which is good. And I'm doing that because we already have 2 tiles here that are power related, so it's not really that big of a deal. So let's build a mining network. See, it's going to tell us we're going to lose that 1, but we're going to get the +1, so we'll be at a +3 modifier when that is done. And that's pretty much all we need to do at the beginning. We got to really we start with a low amount of resources here. Construction ship. Can't build anything yet because we don't know where anything's at. So, to solve that problem, you do what's called a system survey. And I like to do this in the Galaxy tab. So here you can see all the 800 stars that we did right here. And we are all the way on the edge. So what that means is basically, I think I'm going to try to expand this way, and because this is defense here. This is obviously out of the map, and no one can come attack me from that angle. So it's always a smart idea to maybe try to get to the edge. So we're going to go ahead and send our science ship to survey the system. And we'll go ahead and unpause it and put that on a fast speed for now. We may up it up here in a second just for the beginning. Just want to go through everything, make sure we're good. Go ahead and queue up to survey this system and this system. And just to explain a little bit while this is surveying. So as you can see, it just surveyed our system, and it just found that we can build a mineral, or this produces minerals. So what we do here is we go to our construction ship, tell it to build a mining station, select this planet, and now it's going to build a mining station. So let's look at some of this stuff. So now you're starting to get into quest. So we have encountered some form of alien vessels in the Hydor system. These strange objects have been flagged as alpha aliens until we learn more about them. We should proceed with caution. So interesting, and it's been updated. And then also, it did not take long for Bikini Bottom to come across intelligent alien life. The fleet's report to the Hammerhean capital somewhat understates just how alien these forces appear, and only in passing mentions the failure to open comms. So here you can see we have some research. We could actually do this, but if I do this now, it's going to actually stop this research for our colony ship. And I know from playing the game, I'm going to get a lot more, and I can do them all at once. So I'm just going to hold off on that right now. We have our construction ship building that mining station. Has there been anything else surveyed yet? No, there hasn't. So I also want to... So we got those surveyed. So what I wanted to explain was... What did I want to explain? Oh yeah, so the border. So here is our starting border. And so this is basically what we are able to... We own and where we're able to build stuff. We cannot build anything like mining stations and stuff without surveying these systems and taking them over. And the way you take them over is by colonizing or building outposts. And both have their benefits and, you know, their pros and their cons. Colonizing is definitely the way better approach, but sometimes your only option is to build frontier outposts, which will decrease your influence. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So we're surveying our system still. Looks like we're at +2 on this.
Fleet detected.
We have a hostile fleet, but it's probably just going to fly through. We also got another one of those alien encounters. These are the beta aliens, same as previous. So if we
evading hostile fleet.
Lots of pop-ups here. Okay, so if we look here, we got another one. Like I said, there's going to be a whole bunch, and we'll just research them all at once. Hostile alien vessels in the Hydor system. As long as they're not attacking us, we should be good. And they're quite overpowering. They're at 150 and we're at a 70. But see, they are flying out. Not anything to worry about. So let's get our construction ship back in action. Time is money. And we need to get as fast a start as possible. So build mining station here. I thought I told you to do that. Why didn't you do that? We also want to build... We'll go ahead and shift click and build another one here. So he's going to build a mining station and then an energy station there. And that's going to give us +2 of each of those, which is up here. And that means basically that's how much we're gaining per month. And obviously everything costs either energy or minerals or sometimes both. And so you always want to be positive. You always want to be increasing. And that's our approach here, is just to kind of a slow build early on. Okay, our science ship got delayed here because they encountered that hostile fleet. So we'll put them back on surveying these systems because we need to figure out what is there and what we can build there and do that as quickly as possible. Check our home system here. This mining network is almost done, and we're seeing a little bit of population growing in this tile, which is good. Very awesome. So things are going pretty smoothly. Usually this starts, you know, you don't really know how effed you are until you start realizing what AI factions are around you and how they perceive you, whether they're angry or they want to be your ally, that kind of stuff. Which should be interesting because we are basically pro-slavery, which does not go very well in the galaxy diplomacy realm.
Construction complete.
So we're going to have to definitely do some work to mitigate those effects. Okay, so here we surveyed this system here, and we have +4 research, but more importantly, we have a colonizable planet, and it's a Gaia world, which is freaking awesome. I think I said that right. It may be Gaia. Who knows? And the reason why that is awesome is because it is huge. As you can see, look at all these tiles. Awesome, awesome system. Means we can build a lot of buildings and get a lot of production for one planet to really improve our economy. Okay, so we had our scientist gain a level, so his survey speed's +25%, which is perfect, because right now all we're doing is surveying, so he's going to be a lot faster at that right now. Now, we can't colonize that planet yet, because colony ships cost about 350 minerals, and as you see, we only have 58. We have a lot to build. We have to build in these systems and get things going, so it's going to be just a bit before we get that colony ship, but I guarantee you that is going to be one of our first targets, unless we find one on the outer edge and want to start expanding. But I think I want to get that Gaia world colonized as quickly as possible for it to be developed as quickly as possible. So now we're just kind of waiting here, seeing what our survey ships find. Our construction ship just finished here, so we are going to go ahead and send him here, and once he has enough money, or minerals I should say, we can have him start pumping out some research. And that actually reminds me, one thing I do want to do is encourage free thought. And this is going to cost me 1 influence, but it's really good early on because if you see, we get a hit on ethics divergence, which kind of affects us. But we should be okay, but more importantly, it gives us a research speed on all research +10%. Very important, gives us a little edge early on. So all these just got bumped up 10%, as you can see there on the encourage free thought. So these are going to be done a little bit quicker, a little bit faster. Okay, let's see if we can build anything now. 270 to build everything, but we go ahead and have it build a research station here. That should do the trick. Science ship, you need to get here, survey that system, and then after, let's start with the outer ones first, because if there's something right on the edge to colonize, it gives us a more quicker expansion. Instead of colonizing here, we don't really expand our territory, because a lot of this is already our territory. So I'd prefer to colonize here, because then we get all this territory, which is, you know, obviously the whole premise of the game is to take as much territory and conquer everybody. Okay, we may want to consider start building a small, like upgrading our army a little bit by adding more corvettes. Not sure if I'm quite ready to do that. We just don't have enough production. Our system isn't all that great. This didn't have any minerals. Not sure, but we only have 1 more in the system, so kind of slow start for us, I think. But we'll make the best of it regardless. It's a very long game. It's going to be a pretty cool series because I'm going to be able to do many episodes through this Let's Play, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. I hope I'm doing a fine job of commentating and showing you guys how the game operates and works. I'm having a blast playing this game. I've put in, just the last week, probably 40-50 hours just getting the hang of it, and now I feel comfortable to do the series for you guys. Okay, so let's check our population. Almost done here. About halfway done, a little over half, so that's good. Our mining network finished here, so now, as I told you, we're getting the 3 total minerals, which bumped up. So that's always good. May need to do another mineral run depending on this system here, because we don't have much mineral production. I'm going to go ahead and skip this 4 research for now. It's kind of a waste of money. I probably shouldn't even done that one, but there was nothing to do, and I hate just ships not doing anything, so I just had it do that. But I'm going to go ahead and put up a station here, and it looks like only a freaking... That is it. We were getting a really bad system, but, you know, you can't control things like that. You gotta play the hand you're dealt. So we're gonna try to make the best of it. Looks like we got another quest. Our first stumbling steps into the void beyond the Great Barrier were not motivated solely by curiosity or a desire to conquer the unknown or a need to leave our mark on the galaxy. The biosphere of the Great Barrier has undergone rapid changes in the past few centuries, and prominent scientists warn that the Great Barrier may be faced with the beginnings of mass extinction event. That cyclical purging of life that is inseparable from planetary existence in the greater cosmos. A research plan has been put together to study the number of planets rendering uninhabitable by major astronomical incidents or planet-bound catastrophes. We hope that by reconstructing these events, a similar fate may be avoided for the Great Barrier and the Hammerhead race. A false you as Emperor of the Bikini Bottom to ensure that expedition is carried out. Consult the situational log. So
Situation log updated.
Basically, short story is we have a mass extinction event potentially approaching us. So to prevent that, we have to complete these tasks. So I'm just going to track them on the map, and we will have our science ships research them as we come across them, so we can see where they're at. They are in our nearby vicinity, so this actually may push our growth if available. Depends where AI factions are, but we may be pushing kind of like, we'll probably go to this system first, go to this system, and kind of work back in. So maybe this is what we're going to look at right after the start. And we have one right here too, so that'll be, we'll do that one right off the bat as well. Okay, construction ship, building the energy, good. So we got there's another planet here, but because we chose ocean world, it's not very habitable for our race, so that is why it's red. There's an arid 0 and a continental world is 60%.
Anomaly found.
Which is high, but because we don't have the technology to survive there, it's not available to us yet.
System
but maybe later on,
complete.
that's something we can do. Okay, another system survey complete here, so should be moving on. He's cruising through them. Researches, we got 10 months remaining, 20 and 31. It's a little slow because these modifiers are pretty low, they're pretty basic. Construction ship finished here. Yeah, this system just wasn't all that great. I mean, it really wasn't.
Situation log updated.
Okay, another pop-up. We have encountered some form of alien vessels in the XT-81 Singularity system. So this is just another one of those gamma aliens, as I was talking about. So now we got even more. Still gonna wait. Guess I'll go ahead and, just so we're not sitting still, and go ahead and do a research station here. And we don't have enough for the other one, so we'll wait. Good news is we're stockpiling energy. Always a good thing, because there will be a moment where we're probably running out of energy and you want to have a stockpile, so that way if you're negative, you can just pull from that stockpile until you can correct the energy problem. This is almost done, so I'm going to go ahead and build another mining network here. I'm just wondering what I'm going to do about food. If I'm going to keep that food there and just switch this to mining. Because we're at +1 here. Maybe we should do food. We want to keep growing quickly, so I'm just going to do that. And then we'll probably put a mining network there. Growth 40 out of 45. See, now our ethics is plus 0.5% because of that encourage free thought to get the quicker research, but it's really not hindering us all that much. 72% happiness still, so we're okay. Got a AI enemy here, just some, pirates or whatever. 713, so they're pretty powerful. And our military power is only 70 to give you kind of an idea of where we stand in terms of military. Definitely not worried about military right now. I don't think we're really going to get attacked anytime soon. Usually the pirates are, as long as you're not messing with them, they don't mess with you, kind of deal. So sometimes they'll come attack you, but usually it's at a point where you've already worked on the military.
System survey complete.
Okay, construction done. Maybe we should just save up for the colony ship. I mean, I don't really see... I mean, unless I find another system that is really worth putting a frontier outpost right off the bat, which I really don't want to do. I mean, we're just gonna have to wait. So I'm just queuing up some surveys here. It's probably not gonna, every time it encounters hostile, they're set to evasive, so they fly away. So they probably won't get through all these, but we'll go ahead and queue them up just in case. Also, our research on the physics is done. So now we get another choice. Do we want to do a physics lab? So that's increased physics research. Or we could go ahead and just get a plus 5% right off the bat, which is pretty good. It would be up to 17. Or do we want to do ship upgrades and get deflectors? And this is a tough decision, because I don't know if I'm going to get this next time, and I do want this pretty quickly, but, I mean, to increase research speed, that's always good for technology. I'm a technology man, gonna go for it. Risky business, but we shall see if it pays off. Okay, so this is almost done, and since that physics research upgraded our power plant, which is why I wanted it early on, now these power plants I can actually upgrade. Now it's going to cost a little bit, 63 minerals, but now that is going to be like a +8 modifier, which is awesome. So power is going to be good for a while, so go ahead and do both of those. Shouldn't have to worry about it, and we can start saving up for possibly a colony ship. While our science ship is surveying potential other habitable planets, we'll be ready for the colony ship, which that research should be finishing up pretty soon. Yeah, it's at 7 months. Not too shabby. Okay. Yes, I don't really want to waste more minerals on that right now. I really don't. It's unfortunate that we didn't really have a good starting system. Just going to slow it down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bump up speed here. Get things moving a little quicker. Okay.
System survey complete.
System survey complete. Yeah, so I think we're just going to have to really wait on our mineral to get to 350 and go ahead and get ready for that colony ship. I'm not going to upgrade this. We got 2 upgrades coming. Yeah, this one's already done, so it went to +6. I said +8, but the modifier, this one does 4 and there was 2 on it.
Research complete.
So this will go up to probably 6, I think, too. Oh, here's another planet we can colonize, so we can actually expand. So now we have a decision to make later on, is if we want to do this planet and get all the tiles and start developing that, or do we want to start expanding our empire? And since this is already ours, we can always come back and colonize it later. I mean, and no one's probably going to colonize this, but I just want to go ahead and start grabbing as much territory as possible. So this is our next target unless we find a better system. Let's go ahead and check out the size of it. Not bad, pretty good size. It's 15, so pretty average, maybe a little bit above average actually. Our research is done, so we get another good option. This is a pretty tough choice too. The Frontier Clinic is another research, it's a food bonus for the whole planet. Not real fond of that one, but this is good. We can upgrade our hydroponics farms, which instead of taking up more tiles with basic food mines, we can just upgrade them, which will save us food tiles and gives us better ability to be more efficient and produce other things that are a little bit more important. Or we can do what's called a planetary unification, which gives us a monthly influence of +1, which is very important. It's always good to have influence because you need those things. But I think I'm going to go with the food, just because we're going to really be expanding quickly, and I want to be able to grow as quickly as possible, and food is going to better help that than influence. So go ahead and unpause it again. Still on fastest. 139. Complete. And also, that research being done means our colony ship is ready to be... It's done research, so we can build it once we have the resources.
System survey complete.
But right now, it is 350 minerals. So we're lacking 173 right now, so it's just kind of a waiting game until that is done. But this gives us a chance to continue to survey our system. And I could actually go ahead and get ahead of the game here. The one thing I can build that I do not have to be in a territory
Anomaly found.
Is, and these are anomalies that are found when researching, and we'll actually do these later. We'll want our science ship to be surveying and not doing these. There's just things you can research in the systems. We're going to leave that for now. But as I was saying, is one thing you can build that you don't have to own is wormholes, but that means anybody can come in and destroy them.
Research complete.
And so my warp range is this orange circle here. So when I put this wormhole here, it's going to put another circle here, and I'm going to be able to go and survey these systems and find more planets that will help me out, that I can colonize and
System
build
survey complete.
Other stuff. Okay, so we have another research done. That was the engineering, and we had done the armor. So now we have another tough call, and all 3 of these are really good ones, so we really need to think about this. So first one is the ion thruster, and the reason why these are important is because they add to evasion. which, if any of you are familiar with the game, corvettes are very, 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 very powerful right now. They should be rebalanced, but the reason why they're powerful is this, because you're in space, they're really quick, and they're really small targets, which makes them very evasive. And the more evasive they are, the harder they are to hit. And that's what these ion thrusters do. If you look, sublight speed plus 10%, so they're a little bit quicker, and chance to evade plus 20. And if we unlock this, it's going to put us down the tree to unlock even more upgraded versions of these. Now the other one is the Corvette Assembly Yard and upgrading the spaceport level 2. And this gives us an extra module in our spaceport, increased military capacity, and will actually increase our speed that we build corvettes and the cost to build them. Which, as we said, if corvettes are important, then this is a pretty important module, especially early on if we want to get an army and not cost as much. And then this one we probably won't do. It would put us in a high-tech level, though, because it'd be a level 2, and probably not many people are at a level 2 armor. But I don't like putting armor on corvettes, and that's pretty much all I'm going to be building for a while. I usually put shields on them, so the armor really isn't going to help me at this very moment. So the most immediate effect will be these two, and with that said, the most immediate effect would obviously be this, because we can start building the corvettes and stuff, and then we can do the upgrade later. So let's go ahead and go with that. Go ahead and unpause it. 213, we're getting real close to the ability to build the colony ship. And this is this tracking thing is one of the events that we have to do. It's not timed. I don't know if there's an actual timed event. I don't think if it'll actually happen. I'm not sure how that works, but anyways, we'll research this later. We're going to hold off on that. Really want to focus on just surveying and getting an idea of what really is around us, what planets or systems are important, which ones we really need to grab, because that is very important. Check on our homeworld here, and
research complete.
Upgrade our power plant. We got another research done. We are cruising through the research right now, just because our modifiers are so high for such a low level tech. So we're just kind of cruising through them. See, they only take 240 physics research, which we're at a 19% speed plus 7. So okay, so we have 3 options here. We have a power hub, which just basically you put it on and it increases the whole planet just by a small modifier. Useful later on for when you have entire sectors of just power and you can put one on a planet and just freaking really max it out. Right now we're kind of spreading out our resources on planets, so it's not going to have that big of an effect. So mark that one out. So that leaves us with the fusion power. So this is a ship upgrade. And basically every ship requires power, right? And these are basically generators. And to put better modules on there, they require more power. And you only have a certain amount of modules. So I'll show you here in the ship designer. So here's the limited amount of modules, and so here are your reactors, and these are your stats. So we have a plus 7 power right now, but if we want to start putting better weapons here, we're going to need more power. And if we want to start putting, let's say, armor, we want to put 3 armor. Look, if I put 1, 2, 3, that actually didn't take any power. Wow. Okay, well, that was a terrible example. These don't take any power, apparently. They're just minerals, which kind of makes sense because they're not like electric or anything. But if I was to put like a shield here, this power would go down and I would need more reactors. So that's what that does. And then going back to the evasion that we were just talking about, that's where this kind of comes in. And as you can see, this basically we can assign combat rules to specific ships. So we can set them to be an aggressive combat ship, which gives them an increased fire rate and an increased damage of 10%. Or they could be more defensive, and they have higher hull points and a plus 10 chance to evade, which is pretty good. But to build better ships, you need better power, and I like that a little bit more than the other one, so we're going to go with that. Okay, yeah, and so that's going to end this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more, please hit that like button and subscribe so you can be notified of when episode 2 and episode 3 so on are released. I'm going to try to release them as quickly as possible. Not sure on a schedule yet. May announce that in the later episodes. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at episode 2.